telling you what the most famous foundational thinker of communism literally thought communism was.
I just
Okay.
want a historical
Now,
example.
your question was, could communism exist within liberal frameworks? Okay. Marx himself advocated for many things that we would call liberal. He said things like freedom of speech, the equality of people, the fundamental freedom of people to coexist with each other were important characteristics of communism as it comes into being, and communism when we get to like the supposedly the final stage of communism. So to answer your question, yes, liberal
Okay,
values would
which country?
exist.
Which country
Okay.
where
Can you
communists
admit that I
have
just
taken
answered your
power?
first question at the very least? That I directly answered your first question?
Sure.
I needed an
But my
acknowledgement of that.
follow-up question,
Okay.
question matters too, right?
What's
My
your
follow-up
follow-up
question
question?
after you ask that is, okay, if that's possible, give me an example in the real world where it's happened, where a communist party has come to power and a liberal democracy has survived.
The only example that I'm familiar with, and I'm not totally familiar with the history
Testing.
here. Obviously,
Okay,
I've been
cool.
focusing on European experiments. The Kerala province in India, which like tens of millions of people live in, has been run by communists for basically the last 50 years, and they're actually a Marxist-Leninist party, and they operate in democratic frameworks, and they do basically, they have a liberal kind of style system of government within their general ethos. Now they are Marxist-Leninists, right? And I'll admit, I could be misunderstanding the area of Kerala because I'm not totally familiar with the
Sure.
region,
If you're not
but
familiar, fair enough.
they do have
That's a separate
elections, and
question, Wick.
they do have elections, and they do call themselves communist. Their leader is literally a
But the
guy
whole-
named Stalin.
The reason I'm
Yeah, yeah,
asking
yeah.
this, and I'll give it to you, Pisco, but I want to explain the reason
Yeah.
I asked this question. The reason I asked this question is because the whole debate is about, right, like the accusation against you and against the convoy is that you're giving cover to people who want to infect the Democratic Party with things, illiberal values that we would be
Holy shit,
against,
that's
that would
good.
destroy democracy, right? And your co-host has just admitted, at least we saw in 4K, that she is a communist, a full-on communist.
Wait,
And so-
but when you say she's just admitted, you understand that I know, and I've never represented, and it wasn't an own for anyone to put up a clip of her calling herself a communist. But the reason why it was done and presented that way is because as though it were contradictory. When the whole point I was making is show some basis that she's a Marxist-Leninist. Now you can say, Wick, as you are trying to imply, that historically it's impossible. This kind of society is impossible. That's fine. That's not a contradiction, right? There are a lot of anarcho-communists or anarcho-capitalists where you could say, show me one place where anarcho-libertarianism or anarcho-capitalism or anarcho-communism has worked and it hasn't descended into chaos and some kind of kingship or some kind of thing. And yeah, you can be against them, but you would not call an anarcho-capitalist a fascist or a tyrant or an authoritarian just because there's no example of it working. It would be inaccurate to call someone, even if they're deluded, even if they think like, okay, my way will work, all these other times they did it wrong, that it's not accurate to call that anarcho-capitalist or that anarcho-communist a tanky. It's just not. And I think that you must acknowledge that. Like, if you acknowledge that, for example, in the Spanish Civil War, anarcho-communists were communists were killing each other over these like differences in ideology and the support of Russia.
I take your point. No, I take
Yes.
your point, but like when I say communist, I mean Marxist-Leninist. That's what I mean. Whether it's
Okay, but
technically true or accurate, right? Just like as you said,
You don't
like
care.
earlier in the
You don't care if it's
conversation about
true?
Socialists, people define it broadly and mean different things. What I'm assuming most people mean, right, when they say they're a communist, is they're a Marxist-Leninist.
Right. So why don't we just get past the semantics and actually get to the actual
I do have
prescriptions?
one more clip
Let's get past the semantics and just say, all right, in terms of prescriptions, what do we want? Like, do you want me to cancel a show with Econoboy because he labels himself a socialist? Do you want me to stop interacting with anyone who labels himself a communist or hosting a show with that? So what do you actually want?
That's not any of my advocacy.
I want you to own them in the marketplace of ideas.
But I do have one more clip we have to play, so if we can watch that just real quick.
30 who makes
and
at
then we
least
will get through
150
it. Sorry
grand a
about
year
the
and you're
ads.
still
I am
embarrassed to
poor.
take your shirt off at the
I don't
pool.
have.
And issue by issue, I'll be able to tell you because that's going to be more clarifying than just giving you a label.
Are you
Because
in
people just
favor-
project onto it whatever they want.
Are you in favor of abolishing private property?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay,
We're
well
saying-
that's
okay.
pretty simple.
You say these things and you have this tone of voice. It's like
Yeah, you
like
can't
a
tell if
smirk.
she's
So I
serious
can't
or
tell
not,
if you're being
yeah.
sarcastic or not.
She's so serious.
I know.
No, I'm dead serious on that one. I am. But
And
I
so-
guess
Is this what we wanted to see?
Yeah. What's the contradiction there?
I don't know. All right, what's the
There's
next
no
topic?
contradiction, right? Wait. So you understand, as part of your definition, right? As part of your definition for what socialism meant, it entailed people being against private property, and private property here meaning capital, all right, the means of production. So that is not inconsistent with someone being not a Marxist-Leninist. Just because you
represents
support
some sort
the
of like
abolishment of private
socialist
property
revolution
doesn't
in
make
America.
you a
Like, dude,
Marxist-Leninist.
I
Do you
fucking
agree,
wish.
yes or no, Stephen?
I mean, I don't know if
Do what?
Do you agree, yes or no, that just because someone's in favor of the abolishment of private property, that doesn't necessarily make them a Marxist-Leninist?
Not necessarily, but if you're too scared to call yourself, or if you say you don't want to be a socialist, but you are more extreme than that and you're a communist, if you say that you're in favor of like the abolition of private property, if you say, we don't have to watch it, I guess, but our last clip is, and I'm sure you'll explain this one too, when you say things like, oh yeah, I wish AOC would like a socialist revolution in the United States, where revolution historically is like aligned with a violent revolutionary overthrow of the capital class.
AOC says revolution. The politicians themselves are going to say
this is the issue, and this is exactly why I said earlier I don't think AOC should call herself a socialist, because this is the game. This is like the meme, right? I don't think AOC means a violent revolution when she says it. I don't think so. But like this is the game that you end up playing.
But Aaron does. But Aaron does.
Absolutely,
you think
yes.
Aaron does
of course,
mean violent
of course,
revolution?
yes.
Yeah.
Of
and
course.
that's based on what? So why are you distinguishing how AOC says it and Aaron says it? You justify that. Go.
Because when Aaron says it, Aaron says that she thinks that most socialists would be communists, but they're too scared to say it publicly, implying that her position is more radical than what most socialists would admit to.
Entailment there. That doesn't mean
Hold
anything.
on, wait. When
said.
somebody said, do you think? No, stop. Do you think it's more likely that it's more radical or less radical when she says that? What do you think that means when she says, I think most people wouldn't own being? No, I want you to explain that. When she says, I don't think most people would own being communist publicly, so they call themselves socialists. What does she mean when she says that?
I think she says that communism has a particularly negative connotation and denotation, sort of embodied in the definition. But that doesn't imply. That's just saying that she thinks that the distinction between a socialist and a communist doesn't make sense.
This is a Hassan game. This is ridiculous. Like socialist doesn't have a negative distinction in the United States, but communist does. Like, what a delusional take. Like, this is fucking retarded.
Wait. You acknowledge I didn't just say that, right?
What you said that the reason why you might say that,
I didn't.
That's what I heard. Restate it. No. You said you made it sound like communism has a negative connotation versus socialism. I don't think there is one.
Did you acknowledge what I said? There was comparative. I said comparing socialism and the term communism. And do you agree that communism has a more negative connotation than socialism? Yes or no?
Not meaningfully, no.
You don't think that the term communism, so you don't think there's a meaningful distinction in the connotation of communism and socialism in this country?
No. There is not a single person in the United States where you go, hey, somebody's like, are you a communist? You're like, oh, no, I'm not a communist. I'm a socialist. And I'm like, oh, whew. No, that's fucking stupid. And there's not a single group in the United States where you're hanging around a bunch of people who are like, oh, I'm socialist. And you're like, oh, you're socialist? I'm actually a communist. And I'm like, oh, that guy's too much rad. So, no, this is fucking stupid. It's such a stupid.
You and I, Stephen, live in a different country.
Okay.
Obviously, the proof is in the pudding. Do you think that Mamdani would have won the Democratic primary if he called himself a communist?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, I don't think he would have won. I think that there's a much more negative connotation on the term communist and they're a socialist. And I don't even think that your audience, as sycophantic as it is, would deny that.
I think right of Biden, these are synonyms.
I mean, I think it's okay. To be fair, I think it's obviously the case that, I mean, intuitively, right? I think there's a reason why a shitload of people in America identify themselves as socialists but not communist, right? Like, I think that there probably is both an ideological disagreement with people who would generally call themselves communist, and also generally much more of a stigma for people who label themselves as communism. If these things were substantially the same and had substantially the same amount of stigma, then obviously you'd see a significant, basically mixture of those two. But
because I think you're allowed.
You'd see a significant mixture of those things, but you don't. You see overwhelmingly people calling themselves socialists.
Because you're allowed to attach yourself like a cancer onto the democratic movement. That's why we have all these cute and clever words of like social democrat and democratic socialist, and like you have all these cute ways to attach yourself to the democratic movement.
Why don't they? Why don't they call themselves democratic communists then? Like, it would be.
Because that's not the term that took hold. I don't know. Maybe eventually they'll make their way over there. I don't know why. If they use communists instead of socialism, maybe it's like why they're calling themselves.
It's so beyond everything. So right now, you know that you're cooking on this point. You know but you can't optically right now. You
just heard your co-host say that they were for the abolition of private property, and they wish that more people would identify as communists, but they're too scared to do so publicly. And you don't think that they're like.
different. It's meaningfully different.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like an opportunity to speak because I've been nice and quiet for a while.
Before you do,
Fuck my ass.
I do have a question for the panel. If Straighter Aid wanted to come on and be interrogated about these things, would that be okay with
love to talk to Straighter Aid.
Okay.
I would say do it after, because it's fuck all that. Do it after if you want.
We have to talk about Hassan, don't we? I mean, we'll talk about Hassan. What I want to talk about is like, all right. So take
was my
take
turn.
Connor's critique. Yeah, I want to hear about it. This is what I'm curious about, and I want to know if you have anything to speak to. How do you think that we, mere mortals, live and learn? How should we conform our conduct? What would you like to see from us that we're not doing right now?
I actually have something that I think you would be quite amenable to. So if you actually think that capitalism and mixed economy capitalism is preferable to socialism as I defined it, the decommodification of basic human needs, workers owning the means of production, if you think that's genuinely better than when you have MLs or when you have socialists on your program, I would like to see you challenge them. Not just on rhetoric and efficacy and all that kind of bullshit. I would like to see you fight them on the economics.
This is how cooked this is, right? Like in that conversation with the Vanguard, we weren't discussing liberalism versus capitalism. We were discussing the best way. Wait, let me finish my thought. We were discussing the best way to get Biden's agenda. That's what's so silly about this whole thing. We were discussing about what tactically we should have done for Biden's agenda. So for you guys to paint this as it was ideological and you didn't give pushback,
I don't need a 5-minute sermon.
No, it was about tactics to enact Biden's vision.
I don't need or want a 5-minute sermon. So so Pisco, let me tell you about this, okay? This is my problem. This actually, and it's indicative of this entire 2.5-hour conversation. What I'm saying is that there are authoritarian dissident freaks on the far left and on the right. And on the right, the dissident right-wing freaks have infected and destroyed the party that I was a part of. 55% of the party that I identified with growing up is now dead because of these fucking monsters. And so when I look to the left and I see a bunch of normie liberals, capitalists, fucking all this bullshit playing footsie with revolutionary socialists, not only does that turn me off, hold on, I'm not done yet. Thank you for your condescending look and your open mouth. I don't need it right now. Thank you. So when I see that, I'm gonna criticize it because what I don't want to happen is you and other people like spending 3 hours sweeping for the fucking far left, and then as a result, they become more powerful and more emboldened. It's indicative in this conversation.
It's
indicative in the Vanguard conversation. It's indicative in the way that you talk about Hassan Piker. It's indicative in the way that you talk about the far left.
Fuck Hassan.
It doesn't matter when people told you about the things that he's done. You said, I don't know that. I need to research it. Anybody who knows the name Hassan Piker knows half a dozen of the bad shit he's done, and you plead ignorance.
Okay.
I was dealing with
ignorance.
One more question before we end. Destiny.
Wait. Can we
actually 3 hours? It's dinner time.
I can get to the Hassan thing. You said that you would vote for, and correct me if I'm wrong, Trump over Hassan.
All right, 1 second. Be right back.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
The issue that I have with that Twitter thread is that like there's a meaningful difference, and because it was like moving between all of these at some point in time. Of are you talking about casting the deciding vote? Are you talking about who you're more ideologically aligned with? Are you talking about voting for somebody assuming they would have full control of the party? Or are you talking about voting for somebody assuming they would have full control of the party and a full backing of the entire government? Like all of these questions have different answers.
Hassan's party wins. Hassan wins.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like, are you saying like if Hassan were to win and was able to enact a significant portion of his agenda?
Yes.
Then I would vote for Trump easily. That's not even a question.
Okay. Why? I would give it to Pisco. What about you? Again, Trump.
Yeah. So first, let me just clarify the question as Stephen did. I never intended to ask that question of Hassan without constraints. I think it's fucking delusional to think that that's how you initially understood that question, given the fact that embedded in your response, your initial response.
The other question doesn't make sense, Pisco. The other
Let
question doesn't make sense.
Pisco answer.
Hassan's
Let Pisco
irrelevant, but he
answer.
wins political power. If Hassan's irrelevant, but he wins political power, then that vote doesn't fucking matter. So how is that your point?
So the conclusion that Stephen was interpreting that question to be Hassan without constraints
probably help to unmute.
is preposterous.
Yeah, out of the 5 people you probably associate most with Destiny,
to
same,
vote for
probably.
Trump over Hassan.
I would easily say that. Especially, I agree with what Destiny's been saying about Pisco in this conversation. I think Pisco is kind of struggling.
Trump wasn't able to
I
accomplish
think
what he did.
Econoboy is trying to get his point across, but no one's really listening to him. Connor's just here because they need to balance it out.
That's obviously what the question asked. That's what people understood.
No, the constraints on Hassan would be significant.
Oh, that's not
label.
Good. Pisco came into this conversation so fucking hot. It was actually pretty weird how heated he came in. Like he came into it swinging at 100 miles an hour, And
because I
just
do
by doing
think
that, it made the
Hassan is
conversation
not-
Lenin.
derail.
Well, no, Stalin. No, do
from the-
Stalin. What would
No,
be the
no,
same?
no,
What
no,
is he
no,
saying?
We'll do Stalin because so I think the key distinctions
now
are,
we got
I
Pisco
think that
here,
if you
kind
take a
of
look at the different
defending
personalities that Stalin seems like
socialism
the
a
worst
little
overall
bit, mostly
person,
just
has the worst
defending
people in his ear.
what's her
I
face,
think
straight
that,
or aid.
Hassan
But
has some friends who I think are generally like
What are you
good
gonna do?
people like Adam.
what are you gonna do?
Friedland.
Okay, here's a
people like,
question. First of all,
Jonas
the
Friedland.
fact- wait,
let me
I was listing
let me
out,
finish.
trying to
let me
figure
finish.
out all the
And
problems
Adam
I
Friedland
have.
in the
ideology.
cabinet.
Here.
Was it gonna be Secretary of Defense?
Everything did.
Adam Friedland would not be
Fine.
part of Hassan's fucking
I actually think I got them. Real quick, how does the microphone sound? Good, bad, needs to be increased. Yo, what's up, Ghost? How you doing, buddy? I was just doing an audio check. I got a new audio interfacey thing for my computer. Just trying to figure out what's going on, or trying to figure out if it sounds good. Better fucking sounds good. This thing, I had fucking this piece of shit decided to fucking break on me on Saturday. That's what I get for spending like $60 on it, but I bought it like 2 months ago and it already fucking broke. We have the same kind of arguments on transhumanist party Discord server. Oh shit, yeah, I've heard about the transhumanist party thing. I haven't done a deep dive into it. I actually don't know that much about it. Ever so slightly too quiet. Okay. Does that change anything? Does that make it any better? Any louder? Or that? I'm going to put up to that. We'll see. The Discord. Actually, oh, wait. I did the right thing, I think, and made a new profile on my computer. So none of my private shit goes anywhere. So I need to actually download some stuff on this computer still. You get Discord. All right, let me put this back on.
Communist
I think
government.
culturally,
So you don't just hear me breathe.
I think culturally, he's much more likely to be more moderate in terms of the genocidal stuff that Stalin was able to
All
get
right,
away
perfect.
with.
Thank you,
because the
Jason.
American
Thank you,
culture
thank you,
was
thank
part
you.
of- And so there, and I think also, by the way,
I'm happy. That was actually the hardest
you know,
thing, in my
conflict, if we're actually
opinion,
putting
to
real
get
constraints on it, I think the
set up.
military and the police would be much,
It
much
was
apt
quite
to do
annoying.
abuses under a Hassan Piker administration they would under.
Here's a
Trump.
question.
make it
If
not
Hassan was
sound
the president of the United States, and he could push
tinny
a
and
button
shitty.
say, Israel has become a
But I
one
probably did
state
go
right now, that would
overboard.
probably lead to a genocide
by
of Jews there
probably,
until
I
the
meant
majority of them leave. Do you think that he
I
would push that
went
button?
overboard. But that's
Why
okay.
do what, sorry?
To
It's what
turn
I
Israel and
mentally
Palestine into a
needed
single state that would probably result in the next 5
to
years of
actually
some
be able to do
genocide or
this.
genocidal campaign against the Jews there until all of them
I do
basically
Discord
leave.
thing on my
Do you think
phone.
it's
Hold
time to
on.
push that
I
button?
I fucking hate this
Yes.
app.
Would you push the button
Oh.
for Israel's
Low
conduct right now?
battery.
Do you
Shit.
support Israel conduct right now?
Fuck no.
Okay, so you.
But
so
also, this isn't about me. Okay,
you're
so
willing to-
hold on.
but
So
Trump is
that
willing-
means
Trump
so
is
you
willing-
just said
Trump is willing to abide. Trump is willing to
Would
abide.
you
and
vote for
encourage
Trump or Destiny
Israel's
as president?
Israel's conduct
Trump
right
or
now?
Destiny?
All right,
I would vote for
Discord.
Destiny. I'm
Hold
honest about
on,
that.
no,
I'll vote for
wait,
Destiny.
but hold on. You just said that Stalin being genocidal was a key differentiator between him and Hassan. So Hassan would be genocidal in some cases, right? Depending on who the people are.
But
He would probably do the same to
I'm
Polish
talking-
people, right? He said as much.
All
But-
right, how do I get
But
to
you're asking it in
here?
the context in which for
Scan
Hassan the
QR code, how
trade-off
do you do
is
that?
genocide. The current genocide, he views it as a current genocide. What's going on in Gaza?
Scan QR
And,
code.
you know, I guess
Okay,
the
scan
question would just
QR
be
code. I
which-
found it.
You know, genocide is entailed. no
Sure,
matter
and
what.
for Stalin it was, do we have enough crops to feed the people in Moscow?
Yeah,
Do we have enough crops for the people in, like...
but in terms of the internal, I think there is a significant difference in terms of the internal.
Yo, hello.
potentiality
What's up,
for genocide.
Das?
And I just want to be
I'm
clear
good.
about
How are
this.
you?
I don't support.
It's
Hassan
good now,
Piker.
just a
Listen
bit
to the
too easy for the
prescription.
video.
I am not trying.
Oh yeah.
No,
I got to
at
get the
every
volume.
single point you will-
I have to get the volume shit figured out on my computer. My volume is at 7, and it's this loud. And I also have the volume on YouTube down. And it's so incredibly loud, and I have no idea why. There has to be like a driver issue or something. I don't know. Yo, Krishna, how you doing, buddy? Krishna Das. Hi.
Well,
But I
stand
need to
up
make
for
it so it's like
Hassan Piker.
If you
How?
wanna go-
How am I protecting
Sure,
Hassan
if you
Piker?
wanna
not
go-
as
well,
loud.
let's
There we
talk
go.
about-
That's
so
kind of good.
at
But
this
look,
point in time, do you admit that
my
there's
YouTube volume
absolutely
shouldn't
zero
be
evidence?
this low at 15, 20%. This at 7. Because watch. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on a second.
Whatsoever that there was any kind of discriminatory activity towards him in his whole TSA adventure,
Wait
and then he
a
lied
minute.
at multiple points about it.
Wait. So I agree he lied, but you and I both agree, didn't you? Didn't you agree that the main reason, the most probable thing that happened on anything else, you said this, was that viewpoint discrimination played a role in his rejection of global entry. You did say that. You said it.
When did I say that?
On
No.
record.
Wait, hold on. No. Wait, we were, I'm right
That's
here.
so
What was
loud.
the
Sorry.
viewpoint
That is so fucking dumb.
Yeah, no,
Anyway.
you said. What you
No, we don't
said
need
was
to say
that-
what
Cox
you
needs to
need
let people
know me
speak.
from 10 months ago. I'm right here.
Yes,
What
he
is the viewpoint
he
discrimination?
does have.
You said something that you said something.
He does do that a lot. Obviously, can't defend him do it, but I think it's impossible, almost impossible not to do that when you get into an argument like this. At least I can say that based on the arguments I've had with my family over politics, you just start yelling. But at the same time, he does go extra. But at the same time, Pisco over here came into this conversation swinging. So he really did set the tone. So that's kind of why we're here. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Wait. I am vindicated on that. I'm saying I'm not sure as between a Democratic candidate, what I think.
Do you watch any of these guys, Ghost?
I don't know. Is the answer.
Oh, wait, no, yeah.
Then what's the viewpoint?
Wait, no, Ghost, we didn't talk about this.
Who's
talking to?
So
Jason.
content-based restrictions are also subject.
Yeah, he does. He's a little,
Yes, they can be, but
little
viewpoint
spicy like that
discrimination
sometimes.
Is even stricter. Is even stricter. Viewpoint discrimination is almost never going to pass because you're not just saying you can't kill a politician. You're saying you can't kill a certain type of politician. The viewpoint.
Yeah, you can say that, Jason.
If Hassan said that about Bernie Sanders, he wouldn't have.
Okay, hold
That
on.
is my inclination, but
Still,
regardless, it doesn't matter. It's over to
I'm
Trump.
giving
Right?
myself like 5 streams until things are a little bit more stabilized. Trying to figure. Wait. Oh, I gotta go down here. Trying to figure out different ways or different things to do. Trying to keep things entertaining. I don't know. Kind of difficult. Have things I want to talk about, but I gotta start earlier because it's already 9:10 and I'm old and I have work in the morning, and that sucks. But gonna get on earlier after the wedding. Getting married in like 2 weeks, so once that's over, it's gonna be a lot more normal and starting earlier. Hopefully, starting at like 7:30. Get more into things, do like reading news, make fun of people, trying to have conversations like this, not arguing or yelling or interrupting as much as this. But so very low energy. I would like to apologize about that. Plus, it's hot as fuck around here, and I don't have central air, and that fucking sucks.
You think I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't believe that I can't make death threats about people, and they're gonna kick me out of the expedited security screening list?
Although I got to figure out a way to get this headphone. I think I have a cable over here. 1 second. Sorry.
That's a much stronger.
Listen to this more.
Wait. You're talking about. Hold on. You're talking about a constitutionally guaranteed right versus expedited
All right, so let's
screening
move-
through airplane
so let's
security.
move on.
We're not even
So
talking about
let's
being.
move up.
No,
Let's
we don't
move
have to
up.
move.
So let's move up. So what about a driver's license then?
No.
Why not?
This is not. This is not responsive.
Why
and
not?
relevant. What
Why
part
not?
of what evidence
Why
do we
not?
have that Hassan was discriminated against for like a for a political reason, for something that we wouldn't ordinarily expect somebody to be kicked out of an expedited security screening program for? Do we have any evidence of that whatsoever? Yes or no?
So any
so
I
evidence
think
of
none
that?
of yes. The fact that the most likely statement that you've attributed, and which I probably agree, is like either the Rick Scott comment or the comments on the Houthis in Palestine and Israel. I take all of those to be content-based restriction, viewpoint discrimination that would be insidious. And,
Okay, so you,
unconstitutional.
okay, wait, insidious. So you think that somebody outwardly supporting, you think that somebody outwardly supporting a terrorist group that's declared as a terrorist group, that they shouldn't be allowed to be removed from expedited airport security screening for that?
Yes. So
Okay,
let me
that's
ask you a
fine.
question. Let me ask you the question.
No way.
So
It wasn't the
with respect to
cable that I thought it
driver's
was, and
I'm
if it's
gonna-
not right there, there's no way I'm going to find it. Anyway.
Talk about like an expedited line to get a driver's license, we can do that. No, because it's a retarded, it's such an unbelievable. No, pivot.
I'm gonna ask you a
I'm
question.
dodging your
Wait,
pivot. That's
what's
right.
different?
Whoa.
What's different?
You
What's
just pivoted.
different?
I dodged your pivot.
Steven,
I
what's
dodged the
different?
pivot. I dodged the pivot.
Wait, Destiny.
I dodged the pivot.
His existence angers me to no end. I
I
think
dodged the pivot. I've already seen this entire conversation. I'm going to say, oh, having a driver's license is a.
Yeah, the heatedness. He says he's passionate. That's true. I will say, if that's the only time you see him, I'm gonna understand why you have that opinion. But there's a lot of streams that he does where he is very boring, where he doesn't really get heated, and that's usually when he's just like doing his research streams, which I like, and I'm probably gonna do something similar to that. I actually have one thing I might do. One of the first things I do on stream is I want to make like a timeline. Because everybody talks, and it's been in the news recently, about how the Russia collusion thing was a hoax. And, you know, they came out with blaming Obama, with Tulsi Gabbard coming out with the new documents, and all of that angers me to no end, because probably over the last 2 or 3 years, the one thing I have read about more, research more, is that Ukraine-Russia war. And the fact that they're trying to say that Russia didn't interfere in the 2016 election is it's impressive how blatant and bold their lie is. They think they can try and get away with it. But anyway, I want to make a timeline of all the evidence of Russian collusion. Or see, that's the thing. They've muddied the language so much around it because, you know, in the documents that Tulsi just tried to release, they tried to say that, you know, the U.S. government was saying that the U.S. government was saying that Russia hacked the election by trying to get into the machines and actually change the votes. That's not what happened. They were just manipulating public opinion and blah, blah, blah. But just make that timeline, explain how it is, because it is, once you know the events and know what happened and the people involved and the testimony given and, you know, the courts, and it's beyond a shadow of doubt this is what happened. And if more people have this information, maybe more people know about it. If it exists, it'll give people a chance to know about it. So that's one thing I want to do. Again, hopefully after the wedding, maybe even start it before that, but whatever.
Then sure, maybe
so it's going to be a lot more fun here later. But thank you guys for coming. I love it.
For strict scrutiny, it has to be narrowly tailored on a compelling state interest.
Thanks for swinging by again.
It
means a lot.
Off of global entry with a compelling state interest, which is the
For
security
their
of our
speech,
fucking
for their otherwise
airplane.
protected speech.
No, it's not. Their speech is not being denied. They're not making their speech illegal. They're not crafting the law against the speech in any way, size, shape, or form. No, they're not. They're just not having them on the expedited security list, which is not even remotely.
Oh, they're on the Hassan fucking airport thing now.
So respect to Muslims. If you had a ban, just to finish this, respect to Muslims who, you know, have you would agree, a higher incidence of Islamic terrorism, correct? Muslims.
They might. Yeah, probably. I don't want to. Right? I don't know if that's true or not.
Yo, do you have where would I find a Discord link to that transhumanist group?
But specifically, okay, so let's take white nationalists. Do you think it would be acceptable to say white nationalists need not apply for global entry?
Depend if it was like something like let's.
Oh, Jason, yo, you do?
I would say probably yeah. That's probably yeah for expedited security.
Yo, give me that.
I've already admitted that.
Tell me where to find that link.
Said that my comments online, and I even joke about it. That if my fucking global entry,
dude, the Russia-Ukraine, like, I'll turn my stream into one giant Russia-Ukraine war thing. I swear to God. At least for now, until the conflict's over, I'll just focus 100% on that.
I'm not being if I'm just like.
You were on a 2-week total vindication lap.
Tell me what to Google.
Totally right on this issue.
We have a disagreement. So, Stephen, you and I have this disagreement about how much the right should protect, what we're okay with in terms of viewpoint discrimination. None of this is saying that we have to be unhinged with respect to giving Hassan a pass. I have a more protective view of the First Amendment than you do.
Oh, God, see. I'm not in any of those groups to get those special invites. I got into a couple Russian Telegram accounts, but I don't know how exclusive they were.
I think that maybe you should be able to
somewhere kind of weird, but
give, you know, verbal support over terrorist organizations, and I don't think this is a good reason.
It would be something that cool. Would be invite only. God damn it!
But that wasn't your position. Your position was he was explicitly
not in like any Discord. I'm so bad with Discord, like keeping up with notifications and keeping up with communities. I think half of it is because I can't.
Sense of whether that's okay or not.
Half is because I can't even figure out the notification system, and end up getting so many fucking notifications from groups I don't care about or chat rooms I don't care about, and it just end up blocking all of them.
You thought was like clearly violative of the.
Yes. So
he said what?
Where do you watch most of your stuff from, Jason?
Could have literally been a random screening.
I want to give a counterpoint and a counterpoint a chance to leave. If
well, sure. Here, I just a question. Wait. Just one final question. What evidence could there be? Like, could it have been a random screening because it was 20 minutes long and nothing happened? You agree that nothing bad happened besides him getting asked questions for 20 minutes?
When you say could, what do you mean? Do you mean like could it be like logically? Is it possible that?
Yeah, you can always.
What's more likely?
Logically, it's possible. I think it's way more likely that his stop at the global entry line had to do because it's global entry.
Hold on a second.
No.
Okay. I think that being in global entry line, if you don't have global entry, that you're being stopped, it's most likely because you don't have global entry, right?
There we go. Now I think you can post a link.
Yes.
If you go
Jason.
to the wrong line, they don't pull you aside for 20 minutes of questioning. They tell you to go to the other line. I don't know why you think going into the global entry line, we got to pull this guy aside for expedited questioning. They would just say, hey, you don't global entry, go to the
I'm not for like the people saying everything with the government's fine. I am just, my thing about it is just, I don't think Russia trying to invade a European country and annex the land of a neighbor, it's so inexcusable. Like, that is what has to be stopped at all costs. That's the line that you cannot cross. So that's where it starts and stops for me. And yeah, like, dude, there's crazy war crimes going on both sides because, let's face it, it's war, and war fucking sucks. And people commit war crimes in war because it's literally you're trying to kill the other person in front of you, and you're gonna do whatever you got to do in that moment. You're gonna do it, even if it's a little war crimey. Not that you should do it, not that you should condone it, but it's easier in my mind to cheer for the defending side. Exactly. Yeah, and like all the corruption. Well, I think that like Russia's online cyber warfare is way bigger than anybody actually realizes. Like, I think they have their soldiers online everywhere spreading their misinformation, disinformation. Like, they're responsible for 50-60% of the online misinfo online when it comes to U.S. politics. I'd bet good money on that.
That's my main channel. That's my Warhammer channel. Counterpoint to Politics is where I post the VODs for my streams. Monday through Friday.
Let's see.
I am live on a channel called Valor Media Network.
Sweet.
Media Common Spelling Network.
Thank you. Thank you for the link.
Type that into your search bar. Subscribe to it. Watch me from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. EST. And then on Tuesdays, I'm live on my home channel, Counterpoints Politics. But I parasocially love you. I still love you guys, even though I chatted mad shit and used homophobic language.
All right, I'm going to go get a drink real quick. I will be right back. 2 minutes.
Really appreciate you. Go check him out.
Yep.
Have his day. Come on our show. Give him that courtesy. Destiny, please.
I think it's a good question to ask who we want to include in our Democratic Party apparatus. I think that the majority of this has to do with us as being media figures, so people in the media. I don't think there's anything wrong with including people who have some fundamental base values in agreement that generally revolve around concepts related to liberalism and free market enterprise. I think those are hugely important parts of the United States. I think they're an important part of wealth generation. Even when Econoboy brings up, Norway, and he talks about all the money that they get from their global wealth fund, like the majority of this is invested in literally international stocks from capitalist Rand companies. I think that like the defense of capitalism and free market enterprise is an essential part of the United States. I think that if you want to talk about reforms or redistribution of wealth, I think all of that is great. All of that can happen within the basket of a liberal capitalist country. I don't think that we should seek to keep people inside of our movement who would literally dispossess the majority of our movement if they had the power to do so. When people are talking about things like re-education camps, and it's not just random people, but it is literally some of the largest figures that represent that label in the media sphere, I'm way more likely to look to that person. Like Pisco said, I look at use definitions of words, not just strict definitions of words, that I am to look to the Communist Manifesto. And when you've got people like that, or people like Aaron saying that they would ban all forms of private enterprise or all forms of private property, I don't think that these are people that you need to ideologically align yourself with, just the same way that I wouldn't ideologically align myself with some third positionist Nazi because he says he also wants social health care. He just only wants it for white people. So he's willing to have it for everybody first until we kick all the black people out. I think that when we talk about who we should include in our movement, I think one of the most important things we should look for is reciprocity. I think that this conversation would be totally fucking different if there were all of these socialist shows where people like Crystal and Kyle were arguing back and forth with each other about like, hey, don't you think we go like a little bit too hard on the liberals sometimes? Or don't you think that maybe we should be like a little bit nicer to some of these people rather than who the fuck can we primary in the Democratic Party? Who are these like moderate liberals that we can excise? Or like the last show that I just watched before coming on here where Crystal Ball is literally excoriating a Michigan senator because she doesn't have the most pure position possible on
real quick, do you hear the AC in the background?
So I don't think that we should align ourselves with a group of people who say cut a liberal and a fascist bleeds, and liberals always side with fascists. And I think that if you were looking at people that you wanted to align with, look for people who are also building a bridge your way, not just people who are looking to funnel people off of your movement.
Okay, thank you for being here. Check out his...
Oh, well, you don't need to do that if it's like a whole thing about promoting.
Econoboy, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Econoboy, econoboy.substack.com.
On the whole, his
What
take
my actual positions are,
on the
I
Visa
did literally
MasterCard.
write them down in an article series.
Awesome. Hey,
posted.
thank you.
If you're interested in learning what my real positions are, go over there, econoboy.substack.com. And what I would say about the summary of the debate is this. Number one, Connor clearly actually doesn't know shit about history because he seems completely unfamiliar
It was
with
a
the
big
entire
ass
history of
Discord.
actually existing socialist governments outside
I know this
of
is outros, but
Asia.
go fuck yourself.
Oh, awesome.
Well,
That's good to know, Ghost. Thank you.
said I was stupid,
I mean, it is
you know,
on. It's only on Medium,
Connor,
so that's actually good.
So,
God,
the point is,
I got one of
Connor's
those.
not
I got a
history. He's
crazy
completely unaware about about the
AC
entire
unit.
history
What
of
is it?
actually existing socialist governments in
MIDEA,
Oceania and
U-shaped.
also Europe. So that was just the thing that I tried to add to the debate. When it comes to Connor, when it
Dude,
comes to Destiny,
this
I feel like
thing
Destiny really did,
is
hit
fucking
my point about Norway and like Nordic institutions.
so
My only point
great.
about that is that the US could
Oh,
build domestic
the window
settlements
comes
much easier
down.
than
It
Norway
covers like
because the US
80%
has a lot
of the
financial
compressor.
capital
That
to do it,
sits
whereas Norway
outside,
doesn't. Like Norway
so it just
literally
blows beautiful
has
cold
the
air,
Norwegian financial
and
capital
most of the
market to
sound
roll
is
their oil
trapped
wells,
outside
to the
in this
extent that it
fucking
could. I would argue that it probably
monstrosity.
should, but that's a totally different discussion.
Oh,
On the
look at
actual
that.
topic of the debate, here's the last thing that I'll say.
So good.
I
If
do
you
appreciate that it seems
have
like
a
Destiny
window
clarified
unit
Europe's
in your
position
place,
to a substantial degree.
get
We shouldn't
these.
treat
They are
everyone who
life
uses
changing.
the
We got one in
socialist
our
label
bedroom last
as a
year.
Nazi. Instead, we
Oh,
should treat certain
dude,
people
it
in
literally
the
cuts the noise
socialist
down.
media
I would say
space as
easily
Nazis,
80%.
quote, and kind of exclude them from the movement.
They're
I
fucking
pointed out several times
get
that
one.
is actually a statement that all
If you
four
don't,
of us,
if you
all
can
five
afford
of
it,
us, I guess,
get one.
agree
If you
with,
can't,
to the
save
extent that
up,
people in the
get
media
one.
are like
If you live in a hot climate
militantly
and don't have
anti-Democratic
central
Party
air.
and just like really bad faith with Democrats all the time, and they're trying to just occupy Democratic spaces for their own ends and not to try and push forward an electoral movement, we should exclude them from the inner party and from strategic discussions and from platforms like the DNC. I've only said my position, I'll repeat, is that we should take advantage of their platforms insofar as Democrats actually want to like participate in their platforms, not them participate in our platforms.
Wait, I thought
And I think that was
he
just a
was
useful
leaving.
clarification. To the extent that Destiny and Wick are interested, I look forward to the socialism versus capitalism debate in the future, because it seems like the people want that as well. But I'd have fun doing it. Anyway, it was really fun, guys.
Oh, damn.
there
Wait,
was a
they're
lot of
exerting their
useful
power over
clarification, I
websites
feel like,
distributors,
and
mainly
yelling.
video game.
And yelling.
What are they?
And
How are
when I
they
look at
threatening
Tom,
video
I think,
game
you're a bitch. No,
distributors?
I'm just kidding. But I do love you too.
Oh, anything not.
Thank you for
Oh,
being
wait,
here.
is that
Check
so?
out his Substack.
Is
I
that
have
tie? I
links
saw
in
some
my-
post somewhere. It was like not safe for work games were banned on Steam. Did that happen recently? And is that tied to this? Because I feel like I saw a thread on Reddit about that. Recently.
The major
Oh, no, that was
socialist
itch.
Democratic
Oh,
Party
wait, yeah.
wouldn't be
Yeah, that's
considered for
it.
Most people who use the term socialism.
Yeah, so I actually
to be
haven't even
socialists themselves. That's not
heard
how
about
people use
this.
the term, but that's kind of a semantic disparity without
Wait,
much significance. to it.
Visa,
Actually, check out the
MasterCard,
substantive disagreement.
contra- oh, look at
When
this.
it comes to Marxist-Leninists and the people, when we use the term like tanky to refer to people who like substantive.
Okay, MasterCard and Visa face backlash after 100 of adult games removed from online stores Steam and itch. Okay, payment platforms demand services remove not safe for work content after open letter from Australian anti-porn group Collective Shout triggered accusation of censorship. Okay. Payment companies such as Visa, MasterCard, Stripe are facing public backlash, including from billionaire Elon Musk for pressuring online gaming platforms to remove hundreds of games in response to campaign from an Australian anti-porn lobby group. Okay, first of all, how big is this Australian anti-porn lobby group where Visa, MasterCard, and Stripe would stop? Okay. Itch.io, an independent gaming platform, last week removed all adult or non-safe for work games for appearing in its library in a hasty move to prevent payments for games being blocked across the entire service. Demands operating platform marketplace for all developers. The move came after an open letter organized by Collective Shout, an Australian-based group that fights the sexualization of women and girls. On 14th of July, it called for payment providers to cease. How big is this group? Wait. Collective Shout. Is an Australian political activist or a speaker, media. Wait. Okay, she's the co-founder of Collective Shout. Format. Holy, okay, 40,000 members. What shame? They went to rape. Oh, we're seeing the rape and incest games. I could probably be convinced of an argument where they wouldn't want to host those, and I think they're allowed to not host those kind of games because it's kind of on the edge. But I can understand why people would be upset about it, especially if they've been legal the entire time or been allowed to when there was no warning. But I can probably go either way. All right, I pinged it. Yes, thank you for the ping, dude. Appreciate it. All to protect their brand. They sent 1,000 calls around. Yes, they allow their services on porn sites. So they're yeah, exactly. But I'm just like wondering how big this group is and why Visa, MasterCard, and Stripe like bent the knee. Yeah, group. So that's 40,000 members. I feel like that's just like not that big. Oh, all right, he's done. I don't know. Let's get reading this. The move came after an open letter collective shout, an Australian-based group that fights the sexualization of women and girls on 14 July. I think I read this. Games contain content including rape, sexual violence, and incest. Hell yeah. Okay. Its swift compliance, however, meant removing not just the content in Collective Shout's claim, but all not safe for work adult content from browsing and search, at least temporarily. Well, I mean, all right. This is a time critical moment for itch.io. What is itch.io? Is it like another games? Is it like similar to Steam? I guess. Yeah. Some knockoff Steam thing. I don't like those games. Yeah, that's true. They shouldn't prevent that. But it seems like they only did it because this group got all fucking pissed off about it. Like, why? Like, I want to know why Visa and MasterCard take full responsibility. Yeah. So how's like a random fucking group out of Australia have this much pull? It's an indie game dev site. Oh, okay, yeah. I remember when fucking Steam came out. Fuck. I still have a 6-digit Steam ID. Let's go. Oh, actually, I got to get back into that account. Like, I remember I got into my account and it was so funny, like seeing the email that I used to sign up for it, because it was the email I made. What year would it have been? It must have been like 1999. And it was the same email from when I was like 9 years old. It was just so funny. But it turns out I had a bunch of fucking CSGO crates in there. And I played that. I was there when the crates first came out. So I had a bunch of like early run of them. I guess they were worth like $8 each. I had a decent amount of them. I got to get back in there and sell those motherfuckers. I ain't opening them. I am not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. Yeah, that's just fucking weird. Early life, career. Cliffs out, world describes grassroots movement challenging the objectification of women and sexualization of girls in media, advertising, and a popular culture. Yeah, that's weird. Let's see. Oh, actually, hold on. This is going to be stupid, but I'm curious. I want to see. Oh, wait, which one? Fucking. God damn it. God damn it. I feel like, yeah, here we go. It's deep research. I want to try this. There's like the deep research function. I barely have used AI, so I'm fucking tired of shit. I'm going to coast for a bit. I'm curious about this. So, can you give me a breakdown of it? I always forget how to spell this guy's fucking name. There we go. The Mueller report. Wait, no, is this? I don't even know if this is like a get in report. Create a timeline of all of the major events. Create a timeline of all the major events where evidence shows that let's see. I wonder if, like, with a basic ass question like this, how it works. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't checked out deep research anyway, like either. Like, and I've used AI. The use cases that I've liked with AI is like, if let's say you remember a specific event, like a TV show or a news conference or a quote that somebody said, you can ask ChatGPT like, hey, when can you find me the video of this quote that I remember this person saying? And then it can usually find that, and that actually works really well. And that's one of the like actually really useful ways I found it. All right, let's see. Research. All right, let's see. Summarize the overall scope, purpose, and main conclusions of the Mueller report regarding Russian interference in the election. Identify in detail the specific methods and campaigns used by Russia to interfere as outlined in the report, such as social media. Edit plan, actually. Do I just like do it in here? Okay. When constructing time. Actually, no, let's just keep it this. Never mind. Go ahead with the research. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if it's smart enough. Okay, a couple minutes. Feel free to leave this chat. I'll let you know as soon as I'm done. Okay. Let's see. Reporting the investigation into Russian affairs. Yes. Here we go. Wait, can I not fucking... There we go. Yes. This is the document. I mean, I'm not going to read this now. At one point, I would probably... Wait, how many pages is this? This is several hundred. Dude, I'm having trouble getting through the books I want to read. Volume... Oh, shit, volume 1. Fuck. Yeah. See, this is what the robots are for at this point. All right? I use it for random discussions about random things. Sometimes I make game ideas, creating better versions of game movie. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. What's the coolest game that you've come up with that? like using ChatGPT. Let's see. Ooh, quarter of the way done. Okay. Actually,
Super loud.
Am I really loud?
He gets to be the Connor of this call.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
curious
I
what
have him.
they're
I have. It's because I have him up to like.
saying.
He's gonna be a white blood
Just
cell
listen
for
to the voice.
Econoboy.
Yeah. Okay. Defend your.
Oh yeah, Legal Eagle makes.
Sure, the
Listen,
argument
I'm a
that millions of
Legal
communists
Eagle
want to
simp.
realign
I
the
am
Democratic
not
Party is just
afraid
very funny
to
me,
admit it.
because
I
when you
fucking
look
love
at, like,
him.
what
He's
communists
first of
argue for,
all,
they argue for
he's
independence
handsome.
from the
Secondly,
Democratic Party.
makes great
Do you want to
videos. He has
realize
a
the
good
Democratic
eye or
So-
good
so
like
Stock on
sense
left,
for content.
You want to realign the Democratic Party.
Yes.
He's a true professional. Like
Okay,
he is.
So this is what I'm talking about.
He would be good at whatever he put his mind to.
He's saying
Doesn't mean
realign.
ML.
Not what you're talking about.
It's not what he's.
Uh,
No, but this is
collaborate
But
in
no,
a political
S-
way.
No,
Vic,
he's not.
you want to realign the Democratic Party.
Don't you?
You want to
Vic,
realign
You want
it.
to realign? Yes.
Yeah. To be clear,
Again,
realignment is just
Yeah,
a
the
tool.
other
to
way.
actually-
And I'm not
And
saying we
you
should
already
remove
does.
let me
you from the
clarify my
party.
question. Stockton left. Do you want to realign the Democratic Party to be more socialist?
Yes.
Like leftward? Yes. Yeah.
No, socialist specifically.
Wick,
I-
you want to realign the Democratic Party to be less socialist, to be more
Yes,
capitalist.
and I think that's good. We should be
Okay,
less.
okay.
Yeah, maybe
But-
we'll try
but I'm
video
not
tomorrow.
saying
Actually,
you should be
let me
purged
how
because
do I-
you have a different ideological
I'll do
like
this.
end
Breaking
state
news.
than me.
Obama
I
did a treason.
specifically said I don't want
Yeah, what was
Econoboy
this?
kicked off the.
Oh yeah, I
list.
watched this today.
No,
Actually,
You said
I
30 to
appreciate
40
We'll watch this
people call
tomorrow.
themselves socialist,
No,
right?
but
actually,
again, you're trying to.
it would be good to
put
like watch
this
that and like go over
idea
that video
what I want
on
to happen to you.
Oh, my voice is
right,
starting to
to
go.
people
Fuck.
like Econoboy
On-
is to be fired
on stream.
and thrown off
Oh,
their podcast,
fuck.
and we never listen to them again. That's not what I'm advocating for. That
Carry
might be
me,
what
Wick.
other like,
Carry me.
counterpoints was, but that's not me.
Sorry guys, this is a really
Literally
bad
argued
way to
for
start
that, just to be
streaming.
clear.
I'm,
That's what
You
I
he's
have
really
to argue
apologize
with him.
putting you guys through this.
Did,
But thanks for
that's
being
not
here.
me.
Appreciate it.
My issue, right, is
Uh,
I think that when you play footsie with
do you guys have regular
big
jobs, or
ones,
you guys going to
I
school?
think them
What's your all deal?
specifically
If you
because
don't mind me
interact
asking,
with them,
that's
right?
personal.
And
Totally
I'm-
understand.
at least I'm not a lore expert on the Vanguard, but I know a lot of their content, and I know a lot of what they want to do, right? And I think that that is something that I think that is.
So you don't know
dangerous.
enough about their content, but you know what they want to do. What do they want to do?
I'm not a lore expert, is what I said.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
STL,
I
what
feel
you were
like
saying, I feel like STL never actually made
Yeah,
his point.
he didn't
What
get
was
to
his
make it.
point?
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
no,
at
no, no,
least
go-
Just the gist of the
my
argument is when you actually
stream
listen to
has
communists, they don't
been
want to
solid
realign
the
Democratic
entire
Party. They
time, I
explicitly want
think.
to be outside of it to build independent communist
It's in
parties.
excellent
That's why you
condition.
have all
I
the
did
third parties,
move-
right? That's the Green Party. That's the PSL. That's like there's literally like a half a dozen more that I keep
I
tabs
did
on.
move to
Like
But
they,
my
they don't want to
PC
realign the
from the
Democratic Party.
MacBook Air.
Yeah, but Hassan.
I have the
specifically
MacBook
has
Air
said that they
here
want to
still,
use the
looking at
Democratic
some
Party
other
to
stuff.
kind of,
Yeah, but no, but he's saying,
Keep
that most of these
features,
tanky people,
focus on
they
people
are
play.
trying
Oh, that's
to
kind of
operate
cool.
without
Yeah, I haven't like looked
outside
into
of
the other
Democratic
AI
Party
bots
to
either.
counter your notion that there's this like mass.
Oh my god, dude,
people
that
in
Gabbard,
general, that these tankies in general.
that
want
was
the Democratic Party, when it seems like
unreal.
in general, they want to
The
destroy
the
Democratic Party
shit
and not support
that
the
she was
Democratic
saying there, like,
And I think one
actually,
of the
why am I
rules
putting
that
my
they are
chat
doing,
here when I can
so
put it
you have
here?
two different groups going on, right? You have
Yeah, I
people
might just
who
use
are,
this instead.
again,
Yeah, that
saying,
was
"We don't want
insane,
anything
and
to do with
you know
Democrats,
why
99%
she was
fascist,
using the
cut
word
a
like
rope on
treason
fascist leads."
and
then you have
you know
like,
seditious
"You're
conspiracy.
gonna
It's
tell me
because
the
those are the
conspiracy,
things
this is
that
something that they
Trump
specifically
associates,
said
like
that they're trying to do, that they
the
have
Proud
seen people
Boys.
who
They
will
actually got
go down
arrested
the
for
Reddit
that
will
because of
mask on
January
them,
6th, and
say
Trump
that,
pardoned all
right?
of them.
Like crypto fascism,
So
things like that.
that's why they're trying to
And these will
reframe those words or use the same words that the Democrats use on them, except this time they're just fucking memeing their way through the presidency. And last time, they had to go through the court system where there was evidence and a jury and a judge, and they were under oath.
I am against that, and that's why
This-
I say
oh,
that
God.
Stockton left,
And it's
right,
only
who wants
been
to change the party
like
to be more
what,
socialist. We
6,
should
7
get away from
months?
that because we're going
Yeah,
closer to
Democratic, right?
I would advocate
Right, because-
against that.
Yeah, I want the
Uh,
Democratic Party to be more liberal and more socialist. Yes, correct.
Okay,
Right
I
now,
don't
they're
think
failing both
we-
goals.
I disagree.
Okay,
that the
let's see.
socialism, at
All right,
least in the
let's see what
American
this says.
context, Can be
Build on top of this. Create something new
more
based on
liberal.
this. Like a
Contradiction?
Sure, I mean,
overview.
socialist governments have been elected
Got it.
like repeatedly in the 1920s
So
and
let's say-
30s. Like the modern unemployment insurance system was literally stolen by FDR from, not stolen, it was inspired
Wait, why was the audio?
by something the socialists passed in Wisconsin, I believe. Like
And a lot of those people did
wait.
want to really redefine how America worked in a way. That
Never
was
mind.
democratic,
I'm
more socialist.
a fucking idiot.
but-
I mean, the
but
things
that's
they
the-
fought for.
All right, let's
No,
go.
no, so
Okay.
I have to fight this.
Let's read a
The
little
United
bit. An
States
expert
only
analysis of the
has
Mueller
level of
report,
direct
Russian
democracy,
interference
for
in
example, like
2016
ballot
U.S.
initiative,
presidential
because
election, key
socialist,
evidence
progressives, and labor
timeline.
unions fought for them.
I disagree with
Let's
that
see,
framing.
key
of things. I think that
review,
you were, again,
Contestants,
before
Russian
1800s,
interference,
saying that-
coordination,
But
methods.
the socialists, again, have never been any real power in America.
God
to any
damn.
real
Okay, so
extent.
this
And I would
actually
consider that these things
pumps
happen,
out some shit.
right, in spite of, not because of.
God damn.
He also
Why would they
mentioned labor
advocate for it?
unions and groups.
Okay.
Well, because
why-
again, I don't think wanting a minimum wage or wanting
What?
ballot initiatives are specifically
I don't work anymore.
socialist.
Oh
policies.
shoot,
I
dude,
think
dude,
that
that sucks, Jason.
liberals have these policies too.
I don't.
think that
I'm not
they're
gonna say I
liberals
have
do
back
not,
pain because
liberalism
I
versus
don't
socialism,
actually have
things
back
like that.
pain. Like
Wait,
it's
wait,
not even a
let me ask you
1
this.
out of 10
Okay,
out of a scale, but like the
To
little
advocate for
times or the
same
few
thing,
times I have,
right? But that doesn't make that
I
policy
do not envy the
liberal
people who
whatsoever.
actually have back
No, no,
pain.
no.
Sorry, dude, that
So
sucks.
say these things like, oh, well, why would someone who's not a socialist advocate for a ballot initiative? I'm telling you
No,
that there
remember
are
a
plenty
secret
of
hidden
people who are not
colossi
socialists who would
found
like a
killed.
ballot
Oh, that's like
initiative.
each
And
time
ballot
one is
initiatives
killed.
aren't in and of themselves,
Ooh,
you're not
that-
uniquely socialist.
Wait,
That's actually
so
kinda
that's
cool,
not- okay,
Ghost.
so that is absolutely not what I am saying.
Keep me
or what
updated on
Neil is
that.
saying, okay, what we're saying
So
is
the guy
that
who's tuning us
obviously
over-
when we
yeah.
say like socialist, like direct
Okay,
socialist
let's-
policies or policies which
what time is it?
collectivize the means of
9:44?
production and decommodify labor.
Oh,
types and
actually,
all
let's
that,
see.
right?
How do I
You
figure
could
this
obviously
out?
say that, but you could also say that in actually existing socialist movements, they also care about things that aren't literally just socializing the means of production.
What do I
Similar to how
see,
Marx
like-
didn't literally just care about things that
Oh,
socialize
okay.
the means of production. And so the reason why
That
that's
works.
important
Perfect.
is because when the topic of the
Russia
panel is
thing was
how
not a
to
hoax. Yeah,
court the
it
left,
it
and when
the fact
10%
that they were
of the
able
base
to
identify as
change and
socialist
control the
and another 10%
narrative
identify as
so
very, very
so much
liberal,
with
like
that
literally
is
extremely liberal,
insane.
but essentially progressive Democrats
I-
aren't
I-
necessarily socialist. One of the ways that you might court the
He's
left
good. That's the
is
one
say,
thing Trump is
"Oh,
really
these
good at.
far
He
left
can
people in
control the
party want a
narrative better
$15
than
minimum wage,
anybody.
But the centrists want a $12 an hour minimum wage. Let's go ahead and go with the
He's an
$15
entertainer.
minimum
Fuck it.
wage to court the left. That's what Bernie accomplished
Oh,
in
God.
2016.
We'll do
That's
so
what
much
he
more.
was able to get the DNC to update their platform to say. Does that
Let's
make sense?
see.
That seems entirely coherent.
I just
I come at this from a different perspective.
Executive.
Wait,
Let's read the
wait,
executive
wait,
summary
wait,
at
does that
least.
make- does that
The
make
Mueller
sense what I
report,
said?
officially
Yeah,
titled
you're
"Report on the
It makes
Investigation
sense.
into
It's
Russian
logically
Interference in the
consistent. I just
2016
think it
presidential
doesn't
election,"
map
serves
on
as the
like
authoritative account
actually
of former special counsel Robert
So, wait,
Mueller's
the
executive
argument
or
that
extensive
Conaway
investigation into Russian efforts to
The
influence the
argument that Conaway
2016
raised is that you
United
can
States
think of
presidential
socialism
election.
sort of as a spectrum or as a series of institutions.
Submitted to
as
Attorney
well as
General
freedom.
William
I
Barr
think
on
the
March
same is true for
22nd,
liberalism,
2019, and
that there's a
subsequently
series of
released to the public in a
institutions which define
redacted format on
liberalism,
April
or a
18th. The
spectrum of
448-page
If I
document
was
is
going to define liberalism,
meticulously
what are the
structured
liberal
into
values
two
I think
distinct
that are,
volumes. Volume 1,
consistent with
this big-ass
what
fucking
people
thing,
think about when they
that's-
think liberalism, free trade, free speech,
Wait,
free election.
wait. Free trade is one of
And
the
so the
core
argument-
tenets
Yes,
of
free trade is a
liberalism.
liberal, specifically liberal
When
value. Yes.
political liberalism, like so free trade between countries. So you would say that Bernie Sanders, for example, when he advocates against free,
Protectionism is a liberal. Yes.
There we go, we
with
read
respect
it.
To, like,
Great.
political liberalism, as opposed to like trade liberalism.
Okay, and Volume 2,
Trade
or
liberalism.
So
conversely,
that's
wait,
Protectionism, I mean,
Volume 1
things like,
comprehensively details the
we
findings
have
pertaining to Russian
protectionism,
interference, unequivocally
liberal,
concluding.
Okay.
careful,
Volume 1
liberal, like-
comprehensively
So you can
details the
have
findings
even
pertaining to
market,
Russian
like,
interference,
something we think is
unequivocally
exclusively
concluding
liberal. It's
that
just like
it
having
transpired,
markets.
quote,
For
in
example, not
sweeping
markets,
and
free trade,
systematic
right? So there's
fashion.
free exchange of goods between countries without things
Okay,
like,
that's-
tariffs in the way.
Volume 2,
that is a
conversely,
specifically
addresses the
liberal
investigation
value,
into
right?
potential obstruction of
So the
justice
argument
by
I'm trying
then
to
President
raise is
Donald
that
Trump.
liberals through history, like
From
actually
what I
these
know
arguments,
about the Mueller report,
try to
this
shift
is
society
kind of
Is a liberal
where
value.
Trump
I'm
gets
not
his
trying to
defense that he
appreciate
uses, even
I'm
though
trying
his
to- through
defense
history, liberal movements
doesn't
have
make
tried to move society
sense.
towards certain things. Like for
There's
Ask
no
me the question,
defense
what would you
sense.
consider a liberal value? And I gave you three. One of those.
Okay.
Free trade.
While the report
I'm answering your
explicitly
question.
states
You
that the
acknowledge I
investigation,
answered
quote,
your
did
question.
not
You're
establish that
correct.
members of the Trump campaign
Okay, great.
conspired
Now you can
or
go on. I just
coordinated
wanted
with the Russian government in
Put the
its
pin in
election
that.
interference activities,
First of all,
it simultaneously
You're having
identified,
liberal
quote,
better.
numerous
I
links
feel like
between the
you're
Russian
right.
government and
Dude,
Trump
are you
campaign.
serious? We're all-
The
so
report
I'm a
notes
liberal.
that campaign welcome quote or quote welcome such interference, anticipating benefit from these efforts. Furthermore, the special counsel's findings deliberately refrain from exonerating the president of obstructing of justice. detailing multiple episodes where he, quote, privately tried to control the investigation, end quote, and this comprehensive analysis provides a detailed breakdown of these critical findings, with a particular emphasis on constructing a precise timeline of major events where compelling evidence demonstrates Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election. Now, either
Just to extend the argument, the argument I was trying
Google
to make
Gemini
throughout
is
history, liberal movements
cucked
didn't enact
and a woke,
liberalism.
blue-haired
They didn't pass the
liberal
liberal
piece of
law
shit,
and do all of liberalism.
and
They
the
did
investigation
piecemeal bits of
that
liberalism.
Republican
Like they extended voting rights more
Republican
and more
Mueller,
to more people, right?
former
They
head of the
made more and more
FBI,
egalitarian voting
registered
structures.
Republican all his life.
Like free speech has been slowly
Unless he
extended throughout
fucking
U.S. history.
lied
It used to be
too,
illegal to be an
then
communist. Now it's not.
pretty
We live in a
obvious
more
what
liberal
happened.
society
We
as
were
a result.
liberal, and we were
And
less liberal before.
Somehow conservatives have used this, and they are able now to say that it was all a hoax. Somehow, like, this is damning. If any of this, if this is anything close to being
So
true
the argument I'm
or
trying to make
close
is
to
that when we look
reality,
to, like, what socialist
like, this is
movements would want to
damning
try and do
evidence.
and analogize it to what liberal movements have
If
done,
any of this is
you
true.
do not
And, like,
pass
I
the
guess
socialism law
this whole
and just
thing, we'll
do
figure it
100%
out. Or if
socialism
you
in 1
read
year. It's like, no,
this
we're
whole
gonna build this one
thing,
institution,
let's go to
like
one
socialism
random
in
page and
Mexico,
see what the fuck's on here.
and we're going to go from there, right?
Boom.
But I think that people, like, for example, if I were to run
Dmitriev,
for office,
okay, arrived with his wife in the Seychelles Island on January 11, 2017, and checked into the Four Seasons Resort where Crown Prince Mohammed and Nader were staying. Okay, fucking ballin'. Okay.
is I would find something that
Prince arrived the same day. Prince and Dmitriev met for the first time that afternoon in Nader's villa, with Nader present. The initial meeting lasted approximately 30 to 45 minutes. Prince described the 8 years of the Obama administration in negative terms and stated that he was looking forward to a new era of cooperation and conflict resolution. According to Prince, he told Dmitriev that Bannon was effective, if not conventional, and that Prince provided policy papers to Bannon.
get free health care. I think that a lot of socialists
I do.
end goal is
Really?
far more
Like,
than
I just went to one
it's
page.
far more than just $15 minimum wage, right? It's far more than that, and it involves,
Ah,
especially for the
like, it's so depressing.
authoritarian bent, right? It
It's
involves
so
the
it's so
structure
sad.
of liberal policy.
It's
It
so
involves,
depressing
for
how
example,
like how
protection,
they're able to control
which I
the
would be
narrative
opposed
the way
to.
they do, and like
just a,
So it seems like
Jared
we agree on
Kushner's
just being
continually.
anti-
Yeah, let me
Trump
let's just
because
read
he's
part of the tables of
illiberal.
content.
Right.
Yes,
I
Trump
mean,
is bad. I agree.
Like,
right.
So
I'm
the
like,
the IRA
that's
targets
being
U.S. election. IRA.
authoritarian.
Wait.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, the Internet
I mean,
Research
also, like,
Agency, the
extremely
IRA,
authoritarian. And
ramps
I think
up.
that,
Let's
like,
see,
when
see,
we
blah blah
talk
blah.
about this
Russian
sort of
hacking
stuff,
and
yeah,
dumping
I think that
operations.
this should
GRU
be
hacking
one thing that
directed
we
on the
talk about as
Clintons.
just kind of like a
Intrusion
group of
into
people who are,
DNC.
again, illiberal,
Or the
and people
DCCC
who
and the
aren't.
DNC
But then
networks,
when
blah
we get to the
blah.
point where we're, you know,
Lucifer
talking about people
2.0.
who just happen to
Someone
have,
Roger
like, the
Stone
same,
was
you know,
directly in
strain of
contact with.
ideology, and some are liberal and some are illiberal. And
It's
then
just
we're
so
kind of, like,
insane.
lumping them together
Lucifer
in that way.
2.0, who
I
is
feel like
basically
that's, like,
just
the,
what a
you know,
hacker in
situation
Fancy
where
Bear,
people have to answer to,
which
like,
is
the
just straight up
crimes of,
like
the
GRU,
USSR.
Russian intelligence, and he was using
Wick.
Fancy Bear to coordinate with
Thanks,
fucking
bud.
Russian
I'm sorry,
intelligence on
I
when to
was
do
trying to be
drops
quiet.
on Hillary Clinton's
You're fine, you're
campaign,
here.
and
Sure.
they
I don't think
turned that
anybody
into Russia.
ever would say that they're like pro-authoritarian, except for maybe that Charlie Kirk's
They don't actually
son
hack.
that was
Yeah,
on
they didn't hack the voting
Jubilee thing.
machines, and I don't know why
But
Tulsi's saying
I
it.
don't think
I mean,
anybody else is going to say they're
wait, no, I'm lying.
pro-authoritarian.
I
but
know why she
this
says
kind of goes
it.
to what Pisco
It's
was saying.
because
It's like,
people
what
don't
is
care,
authoritarian then?
and
It's not
they're
gonna mean
just
the
going to
same
listen
thing
to
for
it
everybody.
anyway.
So I would
So
like, if
it
it's
doesn't
okay,
matter. You can just
to
go
ask
out there
the
now and just say whatever the fuck
way
you
just
want,
a few questions.
and you're fine.
In
So,
your like
fucking based.
optimized, like maximal socialist, whatever. word we
Exactly,
use,
Ghost. That's the thing. It is a narrative
country,
game. It
am I
is a
able to,
narrative
like,
game, and
go to a
the
hardware store,
the
buy
left
enough
is
stuff,
shitty at it right now, and the
build a
right
house?
is really, really, really,
Yeah,
really,
I thought it
really
was
fucking
getting
good
into- I
on
thought
it,
it
and
was
they're
being
all in
Richard,
lockstep,
are you
and
allowed
they're
to go to
all
the
in
hardware
agreement.
store?
They're,
Is it-
it's like they all have a secret
is it-
group
is it
chat
better?
behind
Should I
the
just
scenes
go?
where they all get
Just
lined
leave
up on
Try-
messaging
try
perfectly.
one more time.
One more
And
time. We'll give 'em
Can
one
I
more
build a
chance.
house?
The left just
You
I
can't
hate
build a house
people on the
trying
far
to get
left.
socialist world, yes.
I hate people
Okay,
on the far
no,
right. I hate
for sure.
most people on the
Can
right.
I
I fucking
move
hate
up?
conservatives,
Can I
but
not
people on the
live in
far
that
left, the
house
communists, the tankies,
and, like, go
fuck
build another
them.
one?
They're just as bad. We need to get them out. But
Like,
it is a narrative game, and we need to do better at
You're
controlling the
smart. You
narrative.
see where I'm going with this, right?
Yep, that's
I mean, if
exactly
you're
right.
gonna
Whoever
ask,
has the
can you
best
come up
narrative
with
wins
an
most.
my
Yeah,
ideal
it's just
system?
like when they made up the fucking the cats and the dogs, and then like JD Vance was called out on it, and he was like, "Yeah, if I have to make up fucking stories just to have people listen to us, I'll do it." Like,
for money or
that's
whatever,
you
right?
can't
But if
find
you're
a more
gonna
perfect
Okay. I
like
appreciate your honesty.
representation of just
Yeah, yeah,
controlling the
so,
narrative,
look,
and that's
guys,
working.
I have to bounce.
But I
I
think-
love you guys very much. Peace out.
Okay, Pisco, thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye, Pisco.
Bye bye. Oh my god.
Oh,
All right.
all right.
I'm gonna
This is
read
actually going to be
one of these guys, but I just want to do a
fun to
little
read. I'm actually excited about this.
Aftercare for all you guys.
I'm gonna
Listen, at the end of
do.
the day, I don't
We'll
think it was
do
a huge
this
disagreement,
at the start
but
of
at the
next
start,
stream,
something
which
between Steven's position, Connor's position. I think there is on the
hoping is tomorrow. I'm going out with my friend
like
after work for dinner,
citizen socialists. Come on,
but
like, what are we talking about here? You know, like,
I should be on after that. I just don't know. Probably be around 8 or 9.
and it's not a
Hopefully more around 8. Probably around 8, maybe 7 or 8. But I'll be back. We'll read this. I think that'll actually be pretty cool. See what this popped out for this, because I might want to make a video about the Russia hoax and call it the Russia hoax. And this would be a good starting point, I feel like, to work off of. And so, yeah, I want to try, now that I actually got everything working, the computer's working, got the thing for the mic's working, camera's working, computer setup is working. I don't have any excuses anymore not to do this. Haha, that's how you hold yourself accountable. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do this mostly every day, but I do have a wedding coming up. So when that happens, I'm going to stop for a little bit, obviously, but I will say when that is. I do have a Twitter account. Might as well bring that up. I don't know if you guys know that. What is it? Basically the same name. If you want, give me a follow here. If not, I totally understand. I haven't even logged in. Wait, that didn't copy. Ba-da-boo-boo. Give me a follow here. I don't have anything else set up. I guess I should do things like get a Discord. I am East Coast. I am Eastern Standard Time. Pretty sure I already follow you. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Hell yeah. The term tanky comes from around next to wait. Yes. And they crush people and they fucking love it. And tankies are just as bad as Nazis. Yeah. I'll be on tomorrow, and like I said, I'm going to try and be on every day, basically, until the wedding. But other than that, thank you guys. Dude, Ghost, Jason, 2 times in a row. Both times I streamed, you guys were here. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. I actually really appreciate it. Again, tomorrow I will be here. I'm saying that now because if I'm not, that's going to be really weird because, like, I did say I'm going to.